Hey, don't you think it's about time we get this sawmill in action? Well, Coral certainly thinks so. She's doing the videoing for me here, and we've got a little deck of logs over there, and some of those logs have to be transformed into beams, and we don't have a lot of time to do it. So we've got to get that sawmill repositioned, leveled up. The rules here in the Joe Rich area where we live is you need to be 50 feet from anything flammable, so 50 feet from those trees over there. We also have to be 50 feet from the property line, and that's our property line over there. So with Coral's help yesterday, we threw some paint on the ground here, and we found a position for the sawmill. Got a load and a half of 1-inch crush delivered today. The other half of the load is sitting in a big pile over there, and we're going to get going and started leveling. You know, the reason for this particular video actually was not my YouTube channel. I have a little 2.5-year-old grandson that's just crazy about heavy equipment. I managed to snag a little video of the last dump truck load heading out of here today. He's already watching it. He's just glued to it. And it is so neat because I remember, well, I don't actually remember that much about it, but my dad told the story of how there was a gravel pit a quarter mile from the house where I grew up outside of the Williams Lake area. And they were loading trucks out of there and hauling gravel down to the log yard near the sawmill. And there was an old Drott. I think it was spelled D-R-O-T-T. It was factory original red color. I think it had a relationship to International Harvester. I'm going to have to do some homework on that. And I would sit on a bank 20 feet perched above the gravel pit, watching endlessly as the Drott bucket loader went back and forth loading little single axle dump trucks out of there. And one evening at dinner, my dad said to me, "Howard, you know what? I know you've been watching at the gravel pit, but there's nothing happening there tomorrow. The Drott broke down." I didn't know what broke down meant. I was 5 or 6 years old. Well, what does broke down mean? Well, my dad said a really important pin. What's a pin, Dad? Well, it's this thing about this big, and it's about this round, and it's up there on the bucket. You know, the thing that goes up and loads the dump trucks. It fell out, and we don't have one. We can't make one. We have to go into Williams Lake for it. Hopefully they have it. It might be a couple of days. So Howard, you're going to have to do something else for the next couple of days. And I said, "Dad, I know where that is." And this is the part of the story that I don't remember. He recounted it numerous times later on. And he said, well, Clarence Best was operating the equipment, and he said he's never seen a kid watch heavy equipment with so much interest. So Howard, if you think you know where the pin is, you come show me. And I took him out to the gravel pit. Again, it was only a quarter mile away. It was kind of a 10-minute walk for a little kid and his dad. And I said, there it is. I had seen it. I apparently had seen it fall out, noticed it as an anomaly, and just went, I don't know, maybe things fall out of excavators all day long. Like, what does a 5-year-old know about this stuff? Well, to have a little grandson that's just glued in on heavy equipment just makes me happy. So Lenny, this is for you and anybody else who chooses to watch. We're not bad. I'd say we've got probably 3 inches. I need to just move down towards that in and filled it in. And nothing better than that little gray thing with the rake for something like that at this stage. Well, there we have it, for better or worse. It's not bad, and it's gonna do for the little Norwood HD36. It's pretty level. Based on my eye, I'm gonna take this over and give it a quick check right now. You know what, for a sawmill with its own leveling legs, we're now 4 inches up out of the mud as the fall rains accumulate. I'm not going to have time to put a shelter up over this sawmill. And so that's 18 yards of 1 inch and under crush, spread for a sawmill pad, 4 inches deep, in under an hour. And as you noticed, I don't have a clue about how to operate heavy equipment. I know there's a couple of levers and we can go forwards and backwards, and that's as good as it gets for this jack of all trades. Tons of fun. And next we'll stake out the corners for the sawmill with a little paint, and we'll roll it up onto the pad.